So just to give you an outline of the omnichannel solution, it's broken into three main elements. The first part is the core infrastructure elements. This includes the routing, the agent management, the context store element, all of the core infrastructure you need for an omnichannel solution. The second piece is the reporting and analytics. The first part of that, the reporting element, will give you your management reports that you typically have in a contact center to manage your agents, your supervisors, across the different channels that are supported. The added piece then is the analytics, which will allow you to apply a level of intelligence on top of the data that you have to do things like personalization and profiling of your customer base. The third key element of the solution is the desktop, and we're introducing a new HTML5 based desktop that will be supported in the agent or the supervisor's browser environment. For the agent, that will support all of the different channel types that you'll have in the contact center, all the elements that they need to do chat, SMS, email, voice or video, as well as integrating with other systems that the agent may need to get information from for things like screen pops, etc. For the supervisor, it'll provide a means for managing their agents, to see what state their agents are actually in, and also to be able to look at some of the analytics data, and again integrate with other systems like workforce management.
And when is this going to be available?
The first release of the omnichannel solution is going to be in October, early October of 2016, and it is the first of a number of releases. That's a global release, so it'll be available in all markets. English only in the first release, and we'll be adding localization support in future releases. Yes, so the core features we're focusing on are really to work with the elite installed base. So the adjunct route voice capability will allow an elite customer to be able to take the solution and actually bring their voice agents into the omnichannel environment and blend them with the other channel types. We'll be supporting email, chat and SMS in the first release, and we'll be also supporting a web voice capability for click to dial from either a web page or a mobile application. We'll obviously have the new desktop. That will be one of the key elements of the first release of the solution. The work assignment engine, which will be doing the agent matching. That's one of the core functions, and that will allow you to apply the sort of business intelligence to map the different contact types coming into the omnichannel solution to the different agent resources that you have. The context store solution that we have, that will allow the whole customer journey end to end to be recorded and be available to the agent and also to the analytics environment so that you can use that information subsequently. We'll be supporting integration with our WFO solution. So one of the changes here is really going from skills-based routing to attribute-based routing using work assignment. And we're exposing that capability now to our call recording and workforce management solutions, and in particular the solutions we have with Verint. They will be available out of the box as part of the first release. So it will give that first level of capability for the customers. They will have the first release of the analytics solution as well, which will give out-of-box reports, and things like real-time displays will be available out of the box for the initial channel types that we are supporting. And we will be adding future channel types in the releases that follow.
Through an ideal customer for this solution?
We are targeting really the elite customer base or potentially a greenfield customer. So a lot of our existing elite customers, they struggle with the addition of either multi-channel or omni-channel capabilities. A lot of them would have point solutions today, either with other Avaya products like the EMC or the AIC product, but a lot of them with third-party elements, and those third-party elements are not integrated. So for say chat or email, they wouldn't have a blended capability. So we are targeting that base up to the 1,000 agent capacity limit, which is the limit for the first release. Any elite customer looking to add email, chat, SMS capability, omni-channel capability to their contact center, they're the ideal customers. They'll be able to leverage a lot of their existing infrastructure, things like their existing tel sets, the existing training that their agents have in that environment, and take on the new capabilities. Also for greenfield customers looking for, again, an omni-channel solution in that 1,000 agent category.
So the solution doesn't actually replace Avaya Elite.
No, it doesn't. It complements it. And I think this is a key message. Customers can choose to keep a proportion of their agents in the Elite environment, and many of them may wish to do so, and move those agents on a phased basis based on their own time frame and their own business needs into the omni-channel solution. And when they're in the omni-channel solution, then they'll be using the new desktop. They'll have access to the different channel types. They'll have access to the attribute routing, the context. All those new elements will be exposed to them. So it allows customers to migrate on a phased basis as it suits them.
Can the solution work with other languages?
Well, it can. While the user interface in the first release will be English only, we can support the different text channels in all the other languages. So it is possible for a customer taking this for their English base to be dealing with customers globally, and we can handle languages through the email, through the chat, in those other languages.
And so how is it actually deployed?
So the deployment today is, for the first release, is an on-premise deployment or in a customer's own private cloud. That would be the target for the first release. However, the architecture for the solution and the building blocks of it are built for a fully multi-tenant cloud-based solution, and in the future we will be offering it in that form. But the first release is targeted on-premise, much as most of our customer base is. So it's targeted for the customers to take into their existing environments and work alongside their existing Aura infrastructure and Elite infrastructure that they have.
Okay. And in terms of scale, what's the...
So the scale for the first release is up to 1,000 omni-channel agents. So that's agents who would support, voice and all of the different digital channels. That's not to say you couldn't deploy it to a customer who has a larger contact center. So we would have potentially a customer would say 4,000 or 5,000 Elite agents today. They may only require omni-channel for a proportion of those agents, typically 10 to 20%. So they could take the first release of the solution and apply it to that group of agents who need omni-channel capability, and have the remainder of their agents running on the existing voice capability with Elite. So 1,000 is the capacity for if you want omni-channel operations, but that doesn't stop you putting it into a larger contact center that may have greater capacity on Elite.
What's the scale roadmap for the future?
So we are looking to grow the scale release over release quite significantly. We're targeting to get to a scale level of 30,000 plus omni-channel agents on this solution to meet the requirements of our largest customers, and we have a lot of interest from those customers already in this solution, so that is our roadmap to get to that level.
And what sort of timescale for that?
The horizon for that would be roughly an 18 to 24 month time frame to get to that level of scale.
Now you talked a bit about the fact that it wasn't a replacement of our CC Elite. How does the solution actually work with Elite? Can you give me more detail?
Yeah, so it can be deployed in its simplest form. You can deploy it in a side-by-side mode. So you have your existing Elite contact center agents, you bring in the omni-channel solution and you deploy it alongside. You take a grouping of agents and you give them access to the new desktop, say an email, SMS channel. And you operate that way, and that's the way a lot of customers work today with solutions from some of our competitors to do point support for things like chat and email. You can then choose to take some of those agents and actually bring them into omnichannel. They now become part of the attribute routed pool of agents. You can now blend those agents across the different channels, and you can gradually move your agent population up to that 1,000 limit into omnichannel. And so a customer with 500 or 600 agents, for example, could move their entire their entire agent base into omnichannel over a 12-month period, for example. So we use the Experience Portal to essentially front end the voice traffic into the contact center. Experience Portal is well used today with our Elite product, so a lot of our customers would already have it. They'd already have a sequence of automated menus perhaps sitting in front of their Elite contact center. They can now adapt those menus to target some of the calls to the OmniCenter based agents. We can then use Experience Portal to populate information into the context store, for example, to tell us what are the selection criteria, the attributes of those agents, and we can then use that when we do the agent selection within omnichannel to get the right agent to handle the context. So really, we're absolutely complementary with the Experience Portal solution today, and people can reuse a lot of their investment that they might have done in Experience Portal in the past, and just with some minor adaptation, start providing that option to route contacts into omnichannel as opposed to into Elite.
And what about, does it integrate with the Avaya workforce?
Yes, so we have added enhanced interfaces to interwork with both the call recorder and the workforce management element of the WFO solution that we have from Verint. For the call recorder, today that works with skills in the Elite environment. It's all mapped to a skill-based paradigm, and we've extended that now to bring in the attribute capability that we have with Omnichannel. So that's the first element. And then for the workforce management system, again, we're exposing from our analytics component work streams and data streams based on, again, the different channel types and the attribute paradigm. And so that's now been provided into the workforce management system so that it can properly model the agent workload in an omnichannel environment as opposed to a voice-only environment.
What if a customer uses third-party email?
The interfaces that we provide for this are open interfaces, so they'll be supported through our Dev Connect arrangement. So if you're a Dev Connect partner, and some of the third-party vendors in this area are Dev Connect partners, they can take the interfaces that we have and integrate to them for their own solutions.